Don't
Sure,
on me.
sure. Go ahead and
son
start.
of a bitch.
Go ahead and start.
I'll
Okay.
kill you.
Sorry.
I'll
sorry.
kill you
Sorry,
right now.
Papa. Sorry, Papa. Okay, there you can go.
Oh, Christ.
What?
Is the stream on?
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it went on before I started doing laundry. I'll just let you... No, just kidding.
Well, so the whole monkey balls.
The whole I wish I did. I wish I did now because I want to hear it.
Should we reenact it?
Can you please?
No, it's too late. It's too late now.
Go to the
too late. Time has passed.
Go ahead.
All right. So, when last we left our party, having repelled an attack by a group of wyverns, the party arrived at the Citadel of the Moon. Jeremiah went out to the sanctuary of the Mother Goddess and found that it was being used as a makeshift hospital to treat soldiers who had been injured by undead from the city of Fallen Dawn. A traveling priest of Mortis called Brother Gabriel offered to hire the party to scout out Fallen Dawn and see why the undead had suddenly become more organized. And Jeremiah agreed to discuss it with the party. Meanwhile, Art and Hjarkin were up to shenanigans involving a busty skeletal horse and bargaining for favors with Captain Eleonora. That's all we'll say on that subject.
Oh, I want to know more about the
bring
bust.
back a fan art.
I was actually listening to it earlier. It gave me a good old chuckle. Great tits, great tits.
I said that's all we will say on the subject. Never
sorry.
happened. Meanwhile, at the University of the Prismatic Shard, Virtue found what was left of his research notes, while Yolia went full Karen and got him sharing a room with the Dean of Students. Eventually, the party met up at the Hunters Commission, where they discussed the wyvern attack that they had repelled, while Jeremiah prayed to Cord and felt his connection to his god re-establish. Virtue explained his theory on what happened during the previous calamity, and the party was left with more questions.
A game theory.
It's fine. Hoping to get some answers, they returned to the sanctuary of the Mother Goddess and convinced the head priest, Father Jufreya, to commune with Mithras and ask the Goddess of Magic 3 questions. Did the Colossi steal your power and cause your death? To which the answer was a hard no. Where can we go to stop another calamity? I hate you so much, Rob.
Sorry, I didn't want to be so disruptive as Matt, but... Yeah.
Okay. Where can we go to stop another calamity, or to find out how to stop another calamity? To which the answer was, your enemies gather at Nexus. What are the invaders' intentions? To which the answer was, these new invaders' intentions are shielded from us. With some of their questions answered, the party decided the best course of action would be to head down to the surface in order to learn what the dwarves and gnomes know about the calamity. In the meantime, they decided to make good on their promise to visit Arturo Duskwatch. They bargained with Captain Eleonora in exchange for a week's stay at Pick and Shovel, and we left the party debating who was going to stay in what room. I don't want to have that debate, so we're just going to go straight to... You're all still stood outside,
can we roll for it?
Exhausted. Rob, I'm pretty sure you said you were just going to take a room to yourself and everyone else had to fight over the remaining ones.
Oh, hell yeah. I remember that now, yeah, of course.
I'll sleep in the corridor.
Okay.
I'm offering a small bit on the end of the bed.
Someone has to curl up.
Yeah, curl up. You're not allowed to take up the entire portion of the bottom of the bed, but you can curl up a little bit.
In like a tiny corner.
Yeah.
I'm an old man.
It's
I
like
can
1
sleep
foot
anywhere.
You just fold him up.
He just always has a bad back anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I just need a branch.
I mean, you could use Taito as a pillow.
True.
Poor Taito.
Sleep outside under the
pillow
stars.
duty.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Oh, isn't that lovely? Okay. So, I'm going to skip ahead to early morning. Your breakfasts are prepaid already. So you're able to fill your bellies. And what would you like to do?
Food fight.
I've definitely done enough pickpocketing for one while.
Okay.
I was going to say,
No more days.
shall we just go to whatchamacallit's place?
Mhm.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I mean, you would know that he has a mansion somewhere in the Alabaster Heights.
Well, we need to go down to the. We need to go down to the surface, don't we?
Yeah, but we're doing that after we've gone to visit the Duskwatch. That's it. I can't remember its
Yep,
fucking name.
Arturo Duskwatch.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we go there then.
Okay. It's on the other side of the city, which is sort of. I mean, it's a chance for you to explore the Palace of the Lunar Council, which is not just a palace; it's the name of the whole district, which some of you have already been to because it's where the university is. But I mean, the whole city is very clearly divided up into sections. Like there are thin walls between them, but it's not like how Duskwatch was very much segregated almost. But the what was it called? The Shimmering Plazas is sort of like a commercial district, and that's where you previously were, which is like a very beautiful area. But the Palace of the Lunar Council is just like ethereal. It's all built in like this ancient architecture that just seems to have stood forever and never like actually been weathered by time. And then passing into Alabaster Heights, it's very sort of Beverly Hills. It's all like raised up hillside with like beautiful mansions and massive grounds. There's not actually that many houses there. Like there's still quite a few, and it's not like America's sort of enormous amount of land because it's very much at a premium here up in the sky. But it's definitely more land than anyone needs.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know which house is Arturo Duskwatch's mansion. Like, there isn't a big neon sign hanging out saying, "Hey, Fate Touch, this way."
Damn. Why not?
Yeah, funny that. There was someone holding up a sign.
Was it one of those signs that you see people holding at an airport to pick
Exactly
people up?
like that. A cardboard sign.
Cardboard sign just saying insert name here. Not even a name.
Just said
Did
Fate
they-
Touched.
Did they run away when the giant naked horse came
Yes,
after them?
that was the exact time that they ran away.
I remember it well.
So, so there's a certain reason why we probably won't be able to find the place now, guys.
Wait, Logan was saying that never happened. So can we just say that she's still there? No.
Well, what's your plan?
Ask someone which mansion is the Arturo Duskwatch. So I'm like, and see
Okay,
if
I
they
mean,
know.
like, the streets aren't dead, but I guess you'd have to make an investigation check of just like searching around or like asking around to see if you can find someone who has the information.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. See. Wow, a natural 16. Holy fuck. I was
Okay.
expecting really low.
Okay, well, do you not have a?
I
bonus
have
to
no
it?
bonuses to my investigation.
Awesome. Well, I think in that case, the only way that you're going to have like found this is like you've run into someone right as they were like leaving a mansion, holding a cardboard sign under their arm that says "Fate Touched" on it,
Wow.
and he like takes one look at you and is like, "Yes, this is Lord Duskwatch's mansion. How may I help you? Who are you?"
Do I notice the board that says Fate Touch on it?
Yeah, it's like a cardboard sign under his arm, and I think if you like take a look, you can see what it says.
I point to the cardboard sign, noticing it says Fate Touch. Says, yeah, we're the Fate Touched.
It's like,
Hey, with the fate touched.
Do you
Are we
think
like
he'd
a
really
band?
Yeah.
It's just like Boy Zone.
We're like the fucking Beatles.
I mean,
we
I was
walk into
thinking
places.
of,
everyone-
what's the band from Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Oh,
Sex Bombs.
Sex
Yeah.
Bomb.
I feel another fan art coming on.
Oh, God, yes,
Christ.
there we go.
Crossover.
cheesy
Sex
as
Bomb
possible.
and Fate. Okay. Yeah. Hyarkin, you're wearing the necklace of mage armor that you got from Captain Fablin, aren't you?
Captain Falcon.
Yeah, Captain Falcon.
I mean, yes, of course.
Captain
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. Didn't realise it's a
Punch.
crossover
Falcon
episode.
punch! I just
So,
smashed the
yeah,
sign to pieces.
You do have like an identifier mark that this guy would recognize. So, as far as he's concerned, either you are the Fate touched or killed and robbed them, which is unlikely. So
we
he's like,
definitely did the latter. Put it that way.
he's like,
I just
"Oh,
thought with Rob's reputation, it might have not been out of the blue that he stole it.
yeah."
It's like, oh god, this necklace. Anyone want it?
I'm surprised he's not trying to steal something from him right now.
Yeah. Don't tempt him. Don't
Not that you
tempt him. Why'd you
haven't-
say that? Why'd
You
you say
haven't
that?
noticed.
He said he was taking a break.
You haven't noticed
It's
anything.
true. He's on a stealing break.
So I say.
Yeah.
Hey, my necklace is gone.
So,
Who stole my bra?
wait, what?
What?
Hey, Arkin said that?
He left my mum's
Just a random
house.
passerby. I swear I was wearing a bra just a second ago.
Jesus.
Sounds like a 90-year-old woman said that.
Picture that.
Okay. So after Ott finishes sexually harassing random passers-by,
It was consensual.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
I don't think it was. The butler, well, he's dressed sort of similarly to a butler. He's like, well, that's saved me a journey, I suppose. In that case, I will invite you in. Lord Duskwatch, I'm sure, would be very glad to have you for breakfast. Can I ask you to follow me, and we'll have you wait in the lobby for a little while? And he leads you onto the grounds. And I should sort of at least give you a brief description of the mansion. It's somewhat, it's kind of like a summer villa as opposed to a full-on mansion. But it is very well maintained. It is beautiful. It's not made out of the same like luminous white stone as everything else. It's as like the Palace of the Lunar Council was. It seems to be a much more recent build, where it's just been sort of like fit into the space in between two other mansions. But it is
So he's
still
new. So he's new. Right. So he's new. New money
new
then.
money. At
essentially.
least here on the Citadel, it's
Mhm.
not been long that he's had a mansion.
Okay.
But yeah, you are led indoors, and it's beautifully decorated inside, and there are just everything you lay your eyes on is probably more expensive than like most of the things you're carrying. Probably your magic items would be worth more than anything.
I begin to rub my hands
Yeah.
greedily.
And you know what, actually? Okay.
You're going to see if he notices.
Oh, no.
The butler gives you a very cold look. I would appreciate if the sir would keep his hands away from anything that might be smudged or damaged.
I was just rubbing my hands in amazement. Sir.
Of course you were. He gives you a knowing look.
Wowie.
And he's kind of like a aged butler with like a very finely trimmed beard, kind of like a Geralt in Witcher 3 sort of look, but with less scars.
Wow. I wonder if you've been playing Witcher 3 at the moment.
Oh boy, have I! But no, I mean, no swords and no scars, but a similar sort of beard and long grey hair.
I toss one copper piece at him.
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, boo.
That version of Geralt didn't have a beard, so your joke is ruined.
I didn't realize the imp had returned.
Yeah. Yeah, so you are led sort of, it's into like a drawing room where there's like a billiards table and several sofas for lounging, and there's a bookshelf full of, I don't know, detective novels.
Sorry, did you say philandering?
I don't know what. No.
I forget what that means now, but
What?
nothing.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, so you were led into there, and you only have to wait for 5 or so minutes before someone comes down and like brings you out drinks. I think this early in the morning, no one's gonna like offer you wine or anything, but you are offered like tea and coffee while you wait, and there's a general sort of sense of like no one wants you to feel unattended to while you're here.
In the sense that they don't want to leave us alone, or they're just looking out for their guests.
Make an insight check.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just
In that case, you decide what you decide.
Oh, not bad.
Okay. You don't think that the servant who's come and bought you drinks is like wary of you, but definitely the butler you initially met was wary of you, and the fact that he sort of led you to somewhere containable is a little bit not so much odd, but it does strike you as like he's taking precautions.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than
I'll just
directly to the Lord.
I'll just do an old man.
Just take off your boots, stick your feet up on the table.
Right.
But it's probably, I don't know, if any of you have had hot drinks, you probably have just finished them by the time that the butler returns and is like, glad you're still here. Lord Duskwatch would be delighted to have you as his guests for breakfast. And
I
with that,
I guess we accept.
oh, good. And with that, he motions for you to come out, and the atmosphere is a little bit more tense now. I think as like people have been informed of your arrival. Everyone seems to be trying to like show them, like put their best foot forward, sort of thing.
Is this the
guards are
same
looking
way?
attentive and everything, like people are polishing silverware and such. Again, you're not really sensing any hostility, at least with your insight check of 16.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to ask about that.
The guards are obviously being attentive because that's their job.
Yeah.
But you are led through into a dining room, which is laid out with, I don't think many of you would have been like used to eating in high society, apart from maybe Op, because like that used to be your con, is like you would pretend to be a noble. So this is probably not your first time in a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And like judging by the decor of the mansion, the food that's laid out, it hasn't like broke the bank, but this is probably significantly nicer than like he normally puts on for breakfast.
Wow. I've got a knighthood, but apparently I've not been in high society.
Okay, that's fair.
See how it is.
I hope
See
he's
how
not
it is.
disappointed with us.
You're more of a soldier, but yeah, that's fair. Waiting on the opposite end of this long table, which is like a place has been set for each of you with all of the appropriate silverware, which maybe some of you know what to do with.
I look at them and go, why are these here?
Why are there so many spoons?
What does it mean?
And like there's a choice of different dishes which have like been left out for you, like fruits and like omelets and soups. And Lord Duskwatch hasn't taken a seat yet. He's stood at the other end of the table. He's like, and he's an elf, so again, it's difficult to judge age, but he's kind of younger than you expected for someone who is ruling a city. He's probably in like his early 30s or the equivalent of.
Okay.
And like very well groomed, clean shaven, slicked back black hair. And he is like he's always making sure of like I think with your insight of 16 you sort of pick up on this. He seems a little bit nervous around you, like seems very conscious of where his hands are and each of his gestures as he greets you. It's like, I mean, I suppose I should introduce myself. I am Arturo Duskwatch, just Lord Duskwatch or Lord Arturo, if you please. And I would love to welcome you to my home here on the Citadel of the Moon. I mean, I've extended this invitation to you because I wanted to recognize the services that you performed for me back in my city. Unfortunately, I couldn't be present to thank you myself, but I have heard that Captain Fablin was grateful in my absence, and he motions to the necklace that Hierarchin was given, and your moonlight weapons that you were given.
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm being rude here. Please sit, enjoy your breakfast. Arcos, if they need anything, you only need to ask. And he motions to the butler who has been leading you around. I mean, I was hoping to speak to you again. You've sort of proved yourselves very Meritous people, people noteworthy. That's a good word for it. Noteworthy people. And I'll be frank with you. I asked you to come here because I was hoping I could try and get a judge of your characters myself. He says as you are all sat down, stuffing your faces, I guess.
I'm just kind of like.
I'd
sat
say we're
there
being
looking-
attentive. I wouldn't say we're
Yeah.
just stuffing our faces.
I'm kind of just looking at each of the utensils, wondering which ones I meant to use, because I'm like.
Yeah. A
So I pick
servant
up,
like
I
walks
pick
up
up,
to
like,
you
the
and
middle
places a
ones
knife in one hand.
Um,
This one.
They just switch them round in everyone's hands.
Yeah.
I pick up the one in the middle. I pick up the one in the fork in the middle of all the other forks first.
It's just
like
holding
I
the.
guess
a
you- this one?
impractical, like toasting fork.
It's just holding a fork by the fork end and trying to use the handle to cut the food.
I feel like Ott's doing that on purpose.
Just to blend in.
Yeah.
It's not like he could, understand everything. And fucking,
He just sort of looks on.
Are
Lord
you saying
Duskwatch
that in
sort of
character?
looks on a little bit in dismay.
I knew he'd be disappointed with us.
it's like
Not exactly the
crestfallen.
high class party he was expecting.
I turn and look at him and say, "What do you expect? I grew up in a jungle."
He clears his throat and he's like, "Well, that is something I was wondering. I mean, part of my duties as the Lord of Duskwatch involved, the defense of the Citadel of the Moon and its areas of influence. So I've always prided myself on my ability to gain information, but quite frankly, I have no idea who people are. You seemingly just came into existence one day in my city. You got on a ship and left, and then you came back a few days later and reported a terrorist threat.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
That's basically it.
I mean, you can understand why I'm a little on edge around you. You're
What concerns you
not
the
even
most,
relatively an unknown, you are just an unknown.
though? What concerns him the most?
Our dinner
Would you
manners.
like to make an insight check in order to figure it out?
Okay. Insight, right, yeah. Two. Two from a nat
That's
zero.
a nat 1.
He seems
one,
worried
yeah.
that you'll eat all his food.
I
It's not
squint
wrong.
my eyes at him and gobble faster.
He looks at you a little bit confused. Well, you're just like stuffing like bread into your mouth like a hamster.
Can
Making
I
eye contact with him.
smuggle some stuff into my bag as well for later?
Sure.
Don't suppose they got any ravioli spaghetti? Oh,
No,
pass
it's
to my
not
bag.
breakfast
Oh.
food.
So, while Ott is being weird, I look over and ask him more questions like, so you want to know more about us, I guess?
Yes, I mean, you've proven yourself to be important people, especially within my city. I'd like to know who you are and, if possible, where you came from, and more importantly, why you decided to help.
And I kind of like go look at him like,
I just say I've got a real
So-
knack for making things kind of all right.
He again looks at you confused as you say that with mouth bread.
And then I click my finger and point at him.
Like, no, please elaborate.
I turn around. So I guess we all have our actual own personal reasons for it, but I would say it just comes down to we've been asked by the goddess of fate. That makes sense. I'm just like, as I just still sit there with like the wrong fork in my hand, look questioning, is it the right one I'm using? And then just continue to eat anyway.
Yeah. When you say that, Arcos steps forward and whispers something to Lord Duskwatch, and it's like, yes, the thank you for reminding me, Arcos. The Temple of Istus did have something to say about you, which initially I dismissed as ridiculous. But I mean, I was aware that you were, of course, referring to yourselves as fate touched. I'm sure you know what that means by now.
I look at him and say, no, not really. I just kind of punch things. It seems to work out all right.
It just means that trouble finds us and we deal with it.
Yeah.
That's essentially exactly what it means. That you are the chosen champions of the goddess of fate. And that trouble will always find you, I think, is a quite apt way of putting it. And I hope if you are calling yourselves fate touched, I hope you can understand why I think it's important to maybe not keep an eye on you, but at least be aware of what your plans are and what it is you're trying to do within this city.
So you probably want us gone as soon as possible in case anything bad shows up.
Of course not. I want you here in case anything bad shows up.
But it's showing up because we're here.
Yes.
Maybe.
It's already too late.
I was
So
gonna
it's
say,
James came
I was just gonna
away.
I try to say, I think it's a bit late for that. We're already here. Things are gonna go down.
I mean, if anything does go down, you can trust us to sort it out.
I was gonna say,
Make a persuasion check.
Oh no.
That's the guy that makes a skeleton horse with teddies.
It's true, you did do that.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't remember that.
No one knew who you were then, it's fine. It can't be traced back to you. Okay.
wow,
25.
holy crap.
Jesus Christ.
In that case, his mood brightens up a little bit, saying, "It's like, good, I was hoping you would say something along those lines. questions. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I'm not saying that something interesting happening would be a terrible thing. Obviously, if anything bad was to happen as a consequence of it, that would be a problem. But as long as you're here to deal with it, I'm sure there's a way that we can all benefit.
After hearing obviously his think about, he wants us to. I kind of guessing he wants us to try and stay here for as long as possible, which isn't good. We don't want that. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to be staying long.
I see. Is there any particular reason you feel you need to leave the city?
Yeah, we've got to get to, what was it, Nexus, right? Yeah, Nexus. We've got to get to Nexus, but we need more understanding of the history of this world. So we're going to the actual ground level.
We'll be heading down to the surface, I suppose. The only way to get to the other side of the continent would be via the surface. In that case, I think we do have a way that we can help one another. Within the next 50 years, there will be an election here in the city, and this is a good time in the lead up to it for me to grow my own personal influence.
Did you say the next 50 years? Sorry.
Elves live a long time.
I was going to say.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Now, at the moment, the Lunar Council will be doing everything they can in order to improve their own image, and I certainly don't plan on running for office, but having more influence myself would be a great benefit to Duskwatch. Frankly, I want you guys to do what Fate Touched do, and I want you to do it in my name.
Wait, so what? You take all the credit for it?
No, I want to sponsor you. How's about that?
And what do we get in return?
I'm
I mean, we could just go about and do this without your sponsorship.
Exactly, you could. That's kind of the point. I am hoping to leech a little bit of your popularity. I can, of course, offer you plenty of payment in exchange for it, and I would like to sponsor your expedition to Nexus. I can cover all travel costs and costs of lodging, at least within this side of the continent, and I'm sure at least a lord of the Elven Citadel's name will have some influence on the other side of the continent. Simply just speak my name, and I'm sure they will be able to get in contact. Anyone will be able to get into contact with me or Arcos here. Motions again towards a servant, and payment will be sent in order to cover lodgings and transport.
How do we know you're a good guy?
I don't know if I trust this.
You have to remember, you did do me a very great service, and I'm being quite honest with you about what I stand to gain from this. I'm not doing this out of the goodness of my heart or anything. I'm doing this for my own personal gain, and I will be transparent about that.
Well, he's honest, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honesty doesn't
wrong with
mean that it's fine. You can you can be very honest about
Right.
shitty opinions.
Can
doesn't mean they're not shitty.
What's the worst that could happen from it anyway? If he's paying for our travel, I mean,
Can
We
I
look
try
like
and
mercenaries
is there
instead
a way
of
of
fate touched.
is there a way of being
suppose.
able to tell if he's like lying by the tone of his voice or something?
Yes, an
Can I-
insight check.
Insight. I want to do one of them. 3. I know nothing.
You know.
Can I make one as well?
I was
Or...
going to say, listening in
yep.
and looking at him, I was just like,
No, I'm not going
I
to.
got,
I get
I got
nothing.
the only one that's decent, so I don't know if that's going to.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm perplexed.
Okay.
we're all a little confused.
I'm very confused. I don't know what's going on.
Well, us three did all right.
You're still looking at the cutlery.
Yeah, I am, but I'm paying attention. Trust
I
me, I
think-
can do more than one thing.
For Ott and Jeremiah, you I mean, you're not really able to get a read of what his intentions are. He's a politician, and lying seems to come quite naturally to him. So you really aren't able to tell whether he's being honest with you or not. He definitely claims he's being honest. For
So
those
does
of
Donald
you
Trump.
who rolled higher, again, it's not that you're like certain he's lying or telling the truth one way or the other, but you do at least get a feeling from him that he wants you to believe that he can use you and that you can have a mutually beneficial relationship.
I just think that will be seen as mercenaries. That's my problem. And if we're supposedly traveling across many, many places, being seen as the lapdog of a man, an elf, is not going to be seen very well in other places. I would say we shouldn't take it.
I mean, we're already representing a goddess.
Surely me and Matt are a lot less wise to him and just kind of go along with it, right?
It's not that, it's just that you don't know, you don't really have one way or the other of knowing for sure
Okay.
how he feels. That's what your low insight is. So it's your gut as a player is what we're going to go with. I think seeing your skepticism, he will say, okay, well, let's shelve that idea. I will still, of course, be willing to offer you a sponsorship for anything that you wish for, and you need only send tell people that they can send an invoice to myself. But perhaps not a long-term deal then. Perhaps you do a single Meritous deed in my name here on the Citadel.
I'd do that.
Yeah, that sounds a bit safer for us.
I'm sure that if there are no things that you could think of yourselves, Arcos is my ear to the ground here on the Citadel. A few things he could come up with.
I don't think. Well, my our quest is for the ground. I'm going to call it. So I'm guessing you. Does anyone have any ideas? I mean, the men still need a lot of help in the church, but I don't know if there's any chance of us doing anything to help particularly.
What was the actual issue in the church anyway?
Everyone had seemed to have a curse put upon them type thing, if I'm correct, Logan.
So,
and then yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Just as a reminder of what it was, the information you were able to gather was that at some point in history, there was a failed expansion of the city. A new city was set up, or like a new settlement was set up somewhere nearby, but it fell to undead. This was mostly ignored for a very long time, and now all of a sudden they're getting ghost ships that are showing up from this place. And
Lots of men get, yeah.
Brother Gabriel was of the opinion that something had moved in there and was organizing them, and if that thing could be got rid of, then the problem could be quieted down at least for a little while.
There's a lot of injured men in there, a hell of a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds like a rather like noble deed, something that would also mutually benefit a politician. I think that sounds like a good thing to do.
Certainly, if my name was associated ending these attacks upon the Citadel, then that would absolutely serve our purposes here.
I think we should do that then.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it in the name of the soldiers there, not for this man, but the rest of you can say what you want.
I'm not asking you to do anything that you ordinarily do. Just continue acting like heroes. And I will let the information be available that I assisted you in doing heroic things. And of course, in order for that to happen, I do need to provide you with some assistance. So I will make sure that if you're heading to First Light, I will have you. I will get transportation there for you, and I will make sure that you are supplied, stocked up with anything you need for the journey. And I believe you mentioned a brother Gabriel, who you already have as a contact on this issue. Perhaps it would be wise for you to go and speak with him.
Off the brother Gabriel with us.
And as well, like before you leave, he's also I want you to know I'm quite glad with how this all turned out, and you're most welcome to return at any time.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Of course, it's
So-
been a pleasure meeting you all, Fate Touched.
Is this guy a noble then? What is he?
Yes.
This guy is a noble. He doesn't seem to have massive influence here on the Citadel, but he does have his own city, which is a vassal state to this Citadel, essentially. So he's kind of the regent of a colony, put it that way, or the magistrate of a colony.
Right.
Mm.
So you guys are going to return to the Sanctuary of the Mother Goddess.
Sounds about right.
Okay. Well, it is probably getting towards late morning, early afternoon since you guys woke up, had breakfast, searched around for a mansion, and then had second breakfast. Pippin would be very proud.
Yes, he would.
What about second breakfast? So I think by the time you arrive, there is a fresh batch of wounded soldiers being carted into the sanctuary.
Good.
And I think you see this like before you even get to the sanctuary.
Yeah. Well, I guess we go in and go find brother Gabriel, isn't it?
Yeah, Brother Gabriel.
Yeah. Well, and I'll introduce myself from the other day. I'll just say, "Hello, brother Gabriel. We're here to sort out your problem."
Ah, wonderful. You have decided to come help me. And Yolia, I think you and Risu met Brother Gabriel previously as well. And he's sort of this eccentric old coot. But whereas most like priests are dressed in sort of very ceremonial, impractical robes, he gives off more of like a traveler's vibe than anything else. Like he's wearing like kind of worn, beaten up but hardy clothes. He's carrying a rapier at his side and a staff.
He's a bit of a hipster.
A little bit. He's like a hipster in sort of like his early 60s, but
I'm down with the kids, man.
He's proper
How do
old
you
school
do,
hippie then.
yeah. But it's like, well, I suppose you already know my name, so I needn't introduce myself, but I would love to know all of your names and who you are. I've met Mr. Jeremiah already, and the bird lady and the cat lady.
Just call me bird person.
He slightly
Yeah,
gags
brother.
on the thought of them being furries.
Whoa.
Just internally disgusted, but he's too polite to say anything.
But just turn his nose up towards, away from them.
Yeah. But, I suppose Virtue is with you and has been quiet because he's kind of in over his head at the moment.
He's still here?
Well, he said he would meet you for breakfast, so he hasn't
How did
really
he
got
get
anything
in?
to
He's not
do.
quite fate touched.
He just followed you and
Was he
kept his
just flat out
goddamn
like,
mouth
"Oh."
shut.
Hey, you
Must
leave
have
my
used a
child
stealth
alone.
check.
Man, I love the writing.
But Virtue's like, I think before you even get to the sanctuary, Virtue's like, I don't know, like, do you guys think I'll be useful for this, or Like, should I come with you or not?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any use.
You're being
Okay.
useful as you have been.
Thank Mithras.
to the weird place with the
Yeah,
necromancer.
with all the zombies, I don't want to go, guys.
Does that mean he's being written out again for the,
It's
for
like,
the
look,
next few sessions?
I'll stay at the university. Um,
Do your
you know,
research.
I'll see
in
if
the
I can dig
Great.
anything
in
up.
your new room. Do your research in your new room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go to the university and get a degree while we're gone.
I already have one.
Can get another one.
Okay.
Yeah, go get another one. It's easy.
Take the dean's job as your own.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Good luck.
It's
Grow
like,
a backbone.
you will. It's
I'll
like,
try.
it's like, one sec. There is no try, only do.
Dude, thank God for Yoda.
Okay. So I guess that's what Virtue will do in the meantime, while all of you guys quest. Father Gabriel is like, well, here's the thing. An expedition to Fallen Dawn will take a few days, and we will be prioritizing stealth here. I mean, I can handle myself, and undead are technically my speciality, but a whole city full of them, even if it's only a colony and not nearly the size of this place, is still far beyond anything I can handle. We need to try and stay out of trouble if we can at all. We need to find out what has happened on First Light that has suddenly caused this change. Or not First Light, Fallen Dawn, which has suddenly caused this change.
Maybe it might be useful for him to come with us.
What, Virtue?
Yeah.
He could be useful.
We've just
Me.
sent him away now.
He can't fight, but he is technically a level 5 bard.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have any attack moves.
I was thinking more for his intelligence. He may be able to figure out what's
Yeah,
causing
he is
it.
a nerd.
Exactly.
We just need to use our fists and.
Just need to punch the problem.
That's how I
We're gonna
get
have, like,
through everything.
A weird montage of all the times he gave us inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, all those times he gave you inspiration and you've never once used it.
Yeah.
Like I said, punch the problem. It
Yeah.
works.
So, okay, I think first of all we'll decide, do you guys want Virtue with you or no?
Yeah, well, hell not.
Yeah, let's bring him along. Let's make him suffer.
Okay.
I want to just bard his way through everything. Just play the banjo.
He's going to be
Okay.
such a confused guy because we just sent him away and now we're bringing him back again.
Yeah, he's sort
Good.
of like, he was just skipping back to university, like, thank goodness. And then, like, and
then
then,
I-
like, Art runs back after him and is like, no, you're coming
No,
with
come
me.
back.
He's like, no, please, and there's just me.
I just go up to
"Come
him
now."
like, Craig, I've got to show you something. Come back. And, I take him to a small alleyway and show him a small pebble on the floor.
That's certainly a pebble.
I thought he'd kind of be trying to run off, but we kind of grab him by the scruff of his neck and drag him.
I think if he
Screaming.
sees you all, like, charging down the staff, I don't know why. But he's not nearly as fast as you guys. Fine.
I was gonna say he's definitely not as fast as me.
Yeah.
No one is.
If you guys ask him to, he will. You against his own better judgment. So Father Gabriel will be like, well, first of all, we need transport to the settlement. You just send.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Right.
Oh, okay. I've seen this already.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Check.
Oh, hey, that's Forza Horizon 4, actually.
It is.
I'm playing that game at the minute.
Check what the bottom.
Hey, it's a good
check
game.
what the sticker
Very
on the
good.
bottom right says.
Yeah, you've just been passed by a furry.
No, the one to the right of that.
Legalize a woo. Oh,
No, below that.
I love... What is it? Knots.
Not.
Oh, God.
I don't get this, and I'm quite happy I don't get.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Isle
you're
of
fine.
Dogs.
I'm not gonna explain that. We're live
What-
on the internet.
Is that Fruity Fox on board?
Fruity or furry?
I need help.
The levels of
Send
cringe.
help. Send help, please.
I
The
think it
level
says
of
Fluffy.
cringe. Jesus Christ.
Looks like Fruity.
Fruity Fox.
Anyway.
Cookie.
I'm gonna download Logan.
Fluffy.
It could
Fluffy
be.
Fox.
Yeah,
There we go.
Oh,
it says
yeah.
Fluffy Fox.
Logan, you have to download that for Forza now.
I can do,
Yes.
but I'm
Next
not
time you
going
play
to.
it.
Do it.
I
Do
refuse.
it. Send us a screenshot.
I refuse. We're fine. Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah. What are you guys doing? So you've been and found Father Gabriel, and it's sort of this is the planning stage of your expedition, essentially. Father Gabriel's like, well, I have my own personal ship, but it's not really equipped for combat. I mean, I'm hoping we won't get into a naval battle. Perhaps something small would be better for sneaking onto the island. At least something that can be easily docked outside of a harbour.
I turn around and say, "Oh, we've got transport already sorted."
Oh, wonderful!
But I do agree with him. I do like the idea of us.
Nah, guns blazing.
our way
I want
onto
to
the
punch
island.
things real hard, real fast.
We need to bring a fucking dreadnought!
Can we commandeer a ship?
We don't
Send in
need
the
that.
gunboats.
Okay. So you're planning on getting transportation from Lord Duskwatch then, I'm assuming, which he will provide to you. There's also a question of, like, is there anything you think you'll need? And Father Gabriel's able to, like, sort of provide at least some sort of insight into what you'll be facing, which likely it's going to be different types of zombies and specters. Whatever is leading these things is most likely some type of necromancer or a monster that is very intelligent and capable of using necromancy. So you will be expecting to fight at least some magic casting.
I was going to say, Father, I don't think you need to offer us anything physically, but if you know, like, what are the most common things coming through your door, injuries wise?
Mostly it's been blades and claws. There have been a few arrows, but not much.
Okay, so they like to get in your face, basically.
Primarily, yes. I mean, I recognize some of things, and there are things I should warn about. I've noticed claw marks which look similar to injuries from ghouls, which is worrying because if a ghoul is to slash you with its claws, there's a chance it can paralyze you. That's something you need to be aware of.
This is going to be fun for anyone who has to get up close for DPS.
Is that temporary paralyze or permanently?
Yes.
I don't think it's going to be permanent. Oh shit, actually.
Permanent
So,
paralysis.
I don't really know how I would
Rob
explain
has
this.
to go around in a wheelchair for the rest of the game.
I'm just...
I don't know how I would explain this in RP, but essentially, it's if they hit you, you make a Constitution saving throw, and if you fail that saving throw, you're stunned for 1 round.
Okay. So it's not the worst, like, your character's
No, but
useless
it does mean if you're getting swarmed, you get stunned and you just get more swarmed.
Right.
We need to
But
stick together then.
Jeremiah, for example, has quite high Constitution save and quite a high armor class. So it's not like he has no chance.
I really want to see Rob play the rest of the game in a wheelchair now.
Yeah, that's it. They just snap his spine.
It's like the fucking Bane scene in the last of the Dark Knight films.
I don't know how that would work with his ability to shapeshift. Like, could he shapeshift into someone that isn't paralyzed?
No.
No, I'm going to say he probably wouldn't be able to.
Oh, god damn it. Okay.
It's like how if you shapeshift into a bird, you can't fly.
I mean,
I think your
you've got to hope.
injuries carry over.
Oh,
I mean, you've got to hope that we reach a city full of people, disabled people,
Yeah.
and then you'll be able to blend in like there's no tomorrow.
Oh god, if you go to a city that
Oh,
has no
God.
stairs. Oh no, only his is. It's like just leaving.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions? Or because I think I'm all set. I think we're all set to go. To be fair.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, when you return to ask for a ship from Arturo Duskwatch, he already has some supplies waiting for you. He has 10 vials of holy water and 4 greater healing potions, all waiting for you, which Arcos has gone out and procured ready for you.
So I asked how you already knew that.
You guys said you were going to go see Father Gabriel about this.
All right, yeah. forgot.
Suspicion 100.
He's like,
Intensifies.
So, have you come sort of? Have you decided how you'll be getting there? Will you need me to provide transportation for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes to what?
All of the above.
I was just going to
Yes,
say
yes,
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 figure
yes,
it out,
yes,
and
yes,
yes,
but
I
only
need
provided
help.
we stick to the shallows. So in that case, come morning, I will have a ship and prepared for you. Is there any sort of preferences for the ship that I should be aware of? Or
Are we gonna sneaky?
Non-flammable.
non-flammable? I
one
can
second.
promise you, it will be flammable.
Wow.
Okay, 1 second.
Damn it, no
reject.
fireball.
Made out of loftwood.
Matt, can you promise to not fuck up your stealth rolls then?
Me?
In fact, yeah, means that you have to roll them with disadvantage all the time. Because you're in heavy
Make
armor.
sure there's a. Can we make sure it's dual decks so I can just hide under the deck so that I just can't be spotted?
If you are bringing this up, then Lord Duskwatch will say, actually, there is potentially something I could loan you that may be helpful.
Oh.
This is quite an expensive magic item, but I do have a pair of boots of elven kind, which would at least negate the issues with stealth that Sir Jeremiah has.
I think that would be rather useful if we intend to, not cause an entire
Now, I
town
will be expecting you to return this to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
afterwards.
I wasn't gonna keep on to it.
Wink. Yes, I will
yes.
return it.
I was just licking his lips like, ooh, expensive.
Of course, I'm definitely not going to keep these.
Okay. In that
You
case,
just noticed the roll.
That was a very good roll, and now you've doomed yourself to bad roll.
okay, it's a nat 20. Sure. I'm just creating the actual magic item itself. But yeah, Arcos will go and fetch them. Essentially, all it does is while you are attuned to them, you get advantage on stealth checks, which negates your. In fact, you don't even have to attune to them, I don't think. Interesting.
Shit,
While
this is
you're
good.
wearing them, you get advantage on stealth checks, which cancels out your disadvantage on stealth checks, so it's just a straight roll.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll take it for this.
I was going to say, being that no one else has a disadvantage on.
They
stealth
clash
checks.
with your outfit super bad. Like they're these sort of forest green shoes. I should have shown for you, man.
I'm an old guy. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit. I'm wearing Crocs and socks. Let's be honest.
He's actually, his normal armor is socks and sandals. So
Right. Awesome. I mean, now we've got all this. I guess we depart.
yeah. So whoever wants to put all this stuff in their inventory, 10 vials of holy water, and
I'll stick it in beans. I have the whatchamacallit,
the bag of holding,
bag of holding. So
and
10 bars of holy
4
water
great,
and 4 greater potions.
greater healing potions.
Right, so technically I have 6 now because no one's getting any. What does the holy water do?
I will give you some stats immediately. Sorry, it's a flask, not a vial. You can throw it to a. As an action, you can splash it on a creature within 5 feet of you, throw it up 20 feet, shattering it on impact. You have to make an attack roll to see if you hit them, and any fiend or undead will take 2d6 radiant damage upon hitting it. Each flask is 1 use.
Oh, okay. Have you got that set up in the journal so I can just?
I am currently setting it up.
Yeah, thanks. Because it's like I can't bother to write all that in on the description in the bloody items page.
You'll have to forgive me for not having done these sooner, but I didn't know what thing you were going to choose to do.
No, that's cool. Well, guys, can we fucking agree? Like, we come here every fucking...
worst dungeon master didn't prepare for every possible eventuality.
Jesus
Right.
fucking Christ.
Show to players. There we go. You should be able to see that.
Yes.
Anyway.
There we go.
I'm going to say that the a cleric or paladin may create holy water by doing a special ritual. You would need to gather the components to do that ahead of time. You can't just sacrifice 25 gold at any given time. So if you wanted more now while you're in the city, might be a good time to gather that. But I think you got 10 flasks.
Is 10 flasks?
Where would we get? Can we ask the brother if he could give us
any holy water?
Yeah, if he's not using it on the ill already.
So the the Sanctuary of the Mother Goddess will have some holy water, but again, I think it's sort of a case of they're probably using all of their healing potions already.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They could sell you the components to bless it yourself, which any cleric or paladin can create more. But it takes a first level spell slot per flask you create, and 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver. Which I think, since you're willing to do this as a favor to them, they'll give you a discount on the powdered silver to 10 gold pieces per flask. But again, it's sort of Father Gabriel is basically tapped out of spells for the day already, healing people. And so it will be just however many spell slots you have, you could create of holy water. Matt?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then. I'll create the holy water.
Okay. How many spell slots do you want to use up?
Which level are they? Level 1 or level 2?
You could use either. They have to be at least level. There's no bonus.
Yeah. Oh, I should have probably actually chose my. Should have chosen my stuff. But...
Well, I'll tell you ahead of time. You will be having a long rest before you depart, because the ship's not going to be ready until tomorrow morning.
I'm going to use a single level 1 spell slot for today.
Okay, so you mark off 10 gold, and you'll be able to create an extra vial of holy water. I'm guessing, do you want to hang on to that, Matt?
Yeah, I'll hang on to that.
I will show you the thing as well. Holy water. Edit. In player's journal, Matt G. Save changes. Go to players. That should have popped up for you.
Yep, just got it.
Bam. Cool. So that's what that does. Just mark that you've got them.
Yep. Cool.
And I think, unless there's any other preparations that you want to do ahead of time, we can skip straight to the next day.
I think everything's fine. To be honest, I think.
Oh, so do I reset my magic for the today?
Yes,
Yeah,
because you'll
awesome.
be having a long
Do I
rest.
only have? Can I just check this? Because I swear I have more. I've only got 4 level 1 slots and 3 level 2 slots.
Yes, that's because you're a hybrid caster. So
Oh, okay, cool. I just
you're
wanted to make
martial
sure.
and magic. So you
I'm
have
gonna
less
be-
spell slots and
I'm gonna
singing.
be really boring, and I'm gonna have to choose my thingies for today.
Yep, that would be a good idea.
How many prepared do I get?
Good question. I think it's. I'll just.
I should know this by now, really, but oh well.
Charisma modifier plus half your level. Or something. I am going to check that. Paladin. Proficiencies, spellcasting. Preparing and casting spells. Paladin table shows you how many spell slots you have. To cast one of your spells. Prepare the list of spells that are available to cast, choosing from the spell list. When you do so, choose a number of paladin spells equal to your charisma modifier plus half your paladin level rounded down.
So,
Okay, so you are level. God knows. Hang on, let me take control. You're level 7, so you'll get 3 plus your charisma modifier, which is 3. So you'll get 6 spells you can.
okay, awesome. Right, I'll
Plus,
do that in the background.
Plus the ones which are already marked as always prepared, they don't count against it.
Okay, cool. Don't worry, carry on then. Sorry.
So, is there anything else that anyone else wants to do in the meantime?
No, I don't think so.
Nothing I can think of, no.
Say. I think we're
6, right?
6, yeah. Okay, so you will all like have your rest, and you're told that instead of the open stone port, which is where you've previously been docking, your ship will be in the Aegis port, which is on the other side of the island, which you guys haven't visited at all yet, but you've been at least sort of vaguely aware that it's a militarized area. Like, you're allowed to go there, but that's where, say, all the barracks are, and that's where all of, like, the Citadel's fleet use those ports. Civilian ships aren't allowed to dock there.
Ooh, so we're special.
So you're special. You're doing a mission on behalf of the Citadel.
Hell yeah.
So you have access to Citadel resources. Hence the magic item, the healing potions, and the holy water. Holy water. I think. Matt, are you okay with those spells?
Yeah, I've chosen my 6 spells for today,
Cool.
which are all combat oriented.
Okay, I thought they might be.
I was gonna say maybe something to help us to do with like undead and shit. Might be a good idea.
I mean, he's got Divine Smite anyway. That's like an always a bit.
Yeah.
In fact, it's good because, like, say, you know, with your Thunderous Smite, you have to cast that as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Whenever you hit, you can choose to cast Divine Smite.
Oh, that's really good. That's
Yeah.
really good. Wow, looks like I'll be yelling Divine Smite a lot.
Yeah, and it does extra damage against undead. But that's in your class tab, I think, rather than your spell book.
Okay. Cool.
So, when you make your way to the in fact, I think in the morning, Avros is like there to wake you up and lead you to the thing, which is odd because you never told him where you guys were staying. He just seems to have found this out.
I find this very concerning.
It's like, it's just, you know, my job to keep tabs on people and make sure that you're not going to flee the Citadel with our magic items.
He has men for that.
I certainly would not like to make an enemy of people. And I think, like, the way you see Avros carry himself, he does seem to be an adept fighter. But he's not carrying any weapons.
That's sachet.
The ship that he leads you to, and like you get a couple of glances from guards, but no one challenges you because you're not doing anything illegal, and you're being led by Lord Duskwatch's attendant, who is at least semi-recognizable. At least the guards would know him. So you are led to this ship, and Brother Gabriel is already waiting for you on the docks as well. And now, rather than wearing sort of robes, he's dressed in like light armor. But he's still carrying his holy tortoise, which is it's this kind of creepy laughing skull. But it just seems like a jovial laugh rather than a sinister laugh, though. But looking at the ship, it's I mean, previously you've traveled on like a luxury cruise liner and like a merchant transport vessel. This is kind of like a dumpy little tiny ship. It hasn't been christened with a name because Logan didn't do that. But
Right, complain time.
what would you like to name the ship, Matthew?
Boaty McBoatface.
I was
You're
just
putting
going
it
to
on
say
the public
that.
domain. Oh, I knew you'd say that.
Okay, so
Why do we call it Rob Smells?
the Rob Smells.
The Rob Smells.
Smelly Rob.
As in possession, Rob's smells.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Rob
smells that
Smells.
Rob owns.
The Rob's Smells. It just grammatically does not make sense, but I like it.
So,
Writing on Rob smells.
The Robs smells.
We're all pondering who this Rob is.
Yeah, we don't know who this Rob
he's
is.
a friend of Ott.
But it just feels it just feels right.
Yeah.
He's not quite as well known as Ott's other friend, Fart Hammock IDK.
That's not Ott's other friend. That's Ott. It's just his other
Yeah,
friend,
that's-
Fart Hammock
that's
Rest
his,
in
IDK.
peace, Fart Hammock.
Yes. So, yeah, it's the thing with it is like it's hard for me to give you a sense of scale because I don't know how like big a crew is, but it can be crewed by like half a dozen people, and there is a crew that is provided for you. It has 2 small ballistae and a crew of 4 people plus yourselves and Brother Gabriel.
Well, we do. I'm thinking, the less we have, the less likely they're to get fucked up.
Mm-hmm. And these just seem to be like mercenaries who have been hired by Duskwatch. You guys are the ones who are like headfirst into danger. These guys are just here to pilot the ship and maybe defend themselves if they need to.
Yeah.
It does seem to be a small enough ship that, like, if you're just flying in open skies, you're obviously going to be visible. But you could probably just moor it up pretty much anywhere, and like it doesn't need its own specific dock or anything. It doesn't need to be in a harbour tower or docks in order to moor up and for you to disembark safely. Which I think was very much the point of like what you told Lord Duskwatch. So Father Gabriel greets you and is like, right, is everyone here? Is this all of you? I've already made myself acquainted with the crew. There's only a few of them, but they seem trustworthy enough lads.
Where's this?
Probably in her divine realm,
Oh.
where she lives.
What?
I'm going to go with that one.
I'm still looking in awe at how fucking shoddy the ship looks.
Yeah,
I'm like, I look at it, I'm just like, this motherfucker shafted us.
that cheap son of a bitch.
Exactly.
It's not like a beautiful warship or anything. It seems practical and functional. It's probably of human design.
Wow, how fucking rude.
Well, that's
Human
the thing. is, like,
design.
It functions, and that is it.
Well, that's the thing. Is like human ships tend to be a lot more practical, whereas elven ships are very grandiose.
You'll be hearing from my
I
fucking
bet he hasn't
lawyer.
even got a
Overstated.
mast on the boat.
There is, in fact, it's a free-mast ship,
As I said, you'll be hearing from my lawyer.
but they are quite small masts. But it's about what you do with them.
Shut up.
So I suppose all of you depart bright and early in the morning. In that case, I will move you to the world map.
That world.
Whoa.
The world.
Whoa, there's random blue lines on it.
Question mark? Nani?
Nutty the fuck.
Yeah, so
There's a random blue dot somewhere.
yeah, the blue dot is you guys.
It's us.
I will let you guys control the blue dot, but you guys are going to be headed, I guess, to what the fuck you just drawn? There we go, we're fine. You guys are going to be headed to here, Fallen Dawn, which is a 6-day journey to get to the nearest spot of it, or you can circle around the other side. I'm not going to have you roll random encounters, I don't think, simply because it's a short journey and you're already headed into danger. And you're in, like, you should be in fairly safe space. I realize that, you know, there's ghost ships and such about, but I haven't got a map prepared for naval. Don't at me. So, as you guys all arrive at Fort, you, I think you would all, especially the, please stop doing that. Also, why have you labeled the fucking compass wrong?
To see.
What is my life? Okay.
Hey, we just want to fucking go out into the middle of nowhere, Logan.
Yeah.
Stop restricting
You're just
my
gonna
freedom.
go out into the sea where you can't really fly or gonna die.
Finally,
It's
some
fine.
justice.
It's what art deserves.
Why?
You heard. So, I mean, it's smooth sailing in order to at least get there until the island is within view. And it's a relatively large island, a couple of dozen miles across, which is significantly smaller than the Citadel of the Moon because that's a capital city, and this was more a expansion or colony to the city. But the thing is, it's quite near to a Skystone field, as in it's nearer to one than even Duskwatch was, which had like a mining economy within the Skystone field. And one thing that the Dungeon Master is going to remind you of is that like magic is really unstable within these fields, and portals are prone to opening, which is why the city became overrun with undead, is because they were within the influence of this field. Portals to the Shadowfell opened, and you guys are sort of just able to instinctively, especially like Jeremiah being a paladin, you would be able to instinctively sense this feeling of like dread that just emanates from this place. Of all of the shadows seem longer, and even at midday, the sky seems overcast, and like there's no lights on anywhere, like no torches are ever lit, and like no one is manning any sort of city defenses. But what you do see is that there are, I think, from this distance, as you're sort of like just able to see the city coming into view, you're not able to tell what it is that's flying about the city. But there is something like several things which are vaguely ship size, which seem to be patrolling the outskirts of the city. And I think as you approach and this begins to become a lot clearer, it's not ships. It's more. Well, I say it's not ships. They are ships, but they are very small, like gunboat sort of sizes, with no weapons on them. But there just seems to be something very unnatural about the way that they sail. Like they're not paying any heed to the wind or anything. Their sails don't seem to be like blowing in the wind at all. They're just flat, drooping sails as these gunboats circle around the city. The crew are like visibly uncomfortable at arriving on the city, and I think they're going to like take their lead from you of what they should do and where they should go. So, if you guys have any commands, now would be the time.
Hide. Look
Okay.
after yourselves. Keep quiet. Don't
Okay.
die.
So,
Stay in school.
with those orders, stay in school.
Don't do drugs.
Yeah. You never
With
know. They
those
might
orders,
get some weird undead crap.
If you get into combat, then they will go below deck and try and keep themselves out of trouble, which they seem grateful for because they don't seem like they'd be useless in a fight, but they're possibly over their heads here.
Don't tell them if we weren't here, nothing would happen.
Yeah, this is all my fault.
They don't need to know that.
So, in that case, Father Gabriel's like, well, in that case, we need somewhere to land. I would not suggest the docks. I would suggest that, I don't know, maybe it's a good idea to try and scout out a place to land, or maybe it's a good idea not to stay out in the open sky for too long and just to make a beeline for somewhere on land. It's up to you guys.
What can we see on land from the boat?
You're still quite far away from the island because if you get too close, you run the risk of being spotted. I think there's probably like a spyglass available, and it's not like there's just legions of undead crowding all the streets, but you can definitely see like figures like shambling around, especially more towards like areas where there's not as much visual cover, like say for instance the docks. And looking at the gunboats, they seem to have crews as well.
Okay.
So what's the plan, Stan? Don't leave me in suspense here. Don't answer him, it's a trap. He's the enemy.
I mean,
You
I
quite
might just
literally
go-
are the enemy.
I'm also the allies.
I feel like hiding with the rest of the people on the ship.
Hierarchin ducks below deck as well.
As he tries to do that, I grab him and say, "Oh no, you don't. You're fighting."
I'm like, damn it, I knew it. This again.
Are there
I
any
better
emergency boats?
Prepare the fireballs.
Are there any
No, there's no lifeboats. In fact, there will be one lifeboat.
Okay.
We have no lifeboats?
I
There is
quickly
one
jump onto the
lifeboat.
lifeboat.
Designed this like the Titanic?
They don't know about the Titanic in this world.
Okay, so
Maybe this is the Titanic.
that's
it's
a
not
lie.
the-
There is
it's not the
probably
smell of rock.
No, it's the Rob's
Probably one
smell.
Yeah, but that
Wrong.
translated into their dwarf language is Titanic.
Yeah.
when did the
shit.
dwarves come into this?
They designed the ship.
Of course they did. This human design ship was designed by dwarves.
Easy mistake.
There you go.
Tall dwarves. Everyone thought were humans.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Out
thought
of
they were
not-
just humans with
tall dwarf.
beards.
Because as we know, humans don't have beards naturally.
Yeah, it's true. Well,
Only
that's
some
why
women.
you can't tell the difference. You just think human, tall dwarf, right? They've both got beards.
Right.
They all sound funny.
What are we actually doing?
That's up to you guys. What are you actually doing?
Too
Well, we-
scared.
Can we
Just
fly low?
goofing around.
Do I need to point out that
You're in the sky, so how low do you want to?
My idea of this plan is to punch hard, punch fast.
Okay.
It works all the time, baby. Trust me.
I just
So
scream,
I
man
would
the
not
cannons.
I am not the guy to ask how do we best do this.
Okay, I should
situation.
mention as well, you don't have cannons, you have ballistae.
What are they?
If we open
magic
fire
spell.
first, is it likely we can try and get a couple hits for them to fuck off, or is it going to be a thing of they're going to be like,
They're
right,
going to attack us, so you stupid.
yeah?
So,
But I mean, can we kind of get them, fuck them over before they can?
well,
basically-
these are fairly
first hit.
small, like fairly small gunships. Maybe if you only were seen by one, but the thing is, your weapons are designed for fighting against creatures rather than other ships. Cannons are good against ships, ballistae are good against creatures.
Is it definite that we're gonna have to get into combat
If
with
you
them?
can come up with some smart way of getting to getting to Fallen Dawn unseen, that's up to you.
Could
At
we
the
like,
minute, the skies are patrolled.
could we like go?
Can we get a diversion?
One sec. Could we not like go below? I mean, it's a floating fucking island.
You
Yeah.
certainly could approach from below. These things seem to be circling above the city.
That's a good idea, actually.
Go
Yeah,
below.
Okay.
we're low as fuck, boys.
We could try it.
So, are you just making for the city, or are you going to try and scout a good landing location?
I think if we try and scout a landing location.
Okay. So,
maybe.
doing that would mean you find a better landing location, but you are going to be exposed for longer because you are going to have to come up eventually and be near to the city, where you may or may not be visible, depending on how good I roll.
Is that a bad idea to park way outside the city and trek in by foot? Or by skeleton horse?
So I say city. The settlement, essentially, the island is occupied. If you land on the island, there's no way of landing outside of the city and walking in.
So we're in it or we're not, basically.
Yeah, you could land in a quieter place, or a place which is there wouldn't be any people, but your idea of that's essentially what your idea of trying to land outside the city and walk in would be, is scouting for a good landing location would be trying to land somewhere which isn't heavily built up.
Do
But
their
yeah, that
boats
can be what you're
have-
looking for.
Do their boats have anything particular on them, like on the mat, on the on the masts on the side of the boats that make them kind of part of theirs, if you get what I mean?
Good point, actually.
So it could blend in, perhaps.
As in some visual distinction that makes it clear, that it's a ghost ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the thing is, it's not that they are particularly distinctive in and of themselves. They're even smaller than your own ships. They don't seem to have any weapons on them. But what's really distinctive about them is it's the way they move. It's just unnatural. It's not like they're flying anywhere. It's more just they seem to be drifting.
Could we try and drift into the city? Fast and
What is
Furious
this,
2.
Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would need some way of propelling yourselves.
I think that
Can we
best idea is
set an
probably
explosion off?
a diversion. That's what I was thinking
Oh,
earlier.
I said explosion, but sure, diversion. That sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
Thanks for the backing, Rob.
Here's the question: how would you do that?
Well, we could go under the city,
Explosions.
nuke a bit of the bottom of the settlement, not enough to cause any real damage. But that'll kind of cause them to go, ah, and then float underneath, and we can just.
Okay.
How is that a possibility?
I say we
or
just
you-
fly in, just for the gags. Yeah.
It's definitely a possibility. The question is, what would you use for the explosion?
Guys,
Do you
let's not
guys
be
still have your
stupid.
coal?
You certainly do.
Whoa. Can I just?
Well,
Anyone got a slingshot?
no, I only have a crossbow.
Can we put it on the end of the arrow?
As in the ballista.
The magic explosive coal. Is that what's called, the ballista?
So the ballista is essentially like a giant fucking. In fact, I've got a map of the ship at least. See if that works.
Oh, I
So-
see what their ballista is now. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, we
them,
can put it on a
yeah.
ballista and launch it over. Yeah, that's a good
Ooh,
idea.
yeah.
Wait, what are we doing again?
We're gonna go under the city, shove some coal into the ballista, fire it up into the bottom of the city, causing a distraction where we can quickly fly up and get a good spot in the city.
I'm not gonna lie, but I'm
Why?
pretty certain we're going to get spotted doing that anyway, and then get attacked.
Good point.
Can we just like fly in like nothing's wrong and pretend that we're all just part of their floaty weird ship crew? Even
Yeah,
though
can we try and charisma check our way through?
Potentially. So, I think Virtue will probably speak up when you're talking about your coal idea, and he's like, "Well, I have no idea where you got that coal from, nor how destructive it is. But judging by the size, I couldn't really see how it's going to do much if you hit the bottom of the island where there isn't anything. Maybe if you like attached it to the ballista and then just arced it so it hit somewhere random in the middle of the city, it might cause more damage and make a bigger deal."
Wait, are we
But then,
trying
of
to
course-
start a war here?
I certainly hope not, because we'll die immediately.
Exactly.
I
then
thought
You
you
know
were
we'll
trying to
end
create-
up-
do we
I
want
thought you were
to
trying to
attack
create
the
a
city?
We'll
big
end up doing that.
distraction.
Well,
So
yeah.
if you
Wait.
make an explosion somewhere in the city, they will be attracted to that explosion.
Why not outside of the city rather than in the city?
Oh, because it's the problem is it's the settlement is the settlement is everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so land is very much at a premium in the sky. They use up all of the available space. There is no like parking outside and walking in because they haven't got an outside. They have expanded to the whole island because that's why they had to expand to a new city in the first place, is they needed more land.
Yeah, I think that idea is probably the best one about just chucking a piece of coal or two into it and then just firing it into the city. But won't they see us if they go straight for the city where we're going?
Yeah, we're going to the same place that we're alerting them to go to.
Yeah.
Wait, what about my illusion spell? Would that be able to cast something
shit,
big
Good
off?
point.
What exactly does it say? I think you can only do something as big as a large creature. So
I
you
could send a naked horse to him. That would certainly.
you could
no.
definitely do it. Like, I think you could create a wyvern, but it has to be within a certain range of you.
It says
think-
as big as a 20-foot cube.
Oh shit, that's huge.
So you could
Okay.
easily
do
make
a
some
straight
sort
up
of ship.
dragon. Yeah.
Oh
or
yeah,
a
some
ship.
sort
That's
of
actually a good idea.
creature or something.
How
It says you can
far-
have a range up to 120
100. Okay, up to 120
120.
feet away from you. Then
away from where you can see. Yeah,
what exactly
Wait,
does it say?
yeah. Go and have a look at it. There's quite a bit of description in there. But if I could create something that would divert their attention, that they'd try and attack or something.
It's major
Maybe-
image, isn't it?
I vote for Hyakin.
Yeah, major image level 3.
Okay, yeah.
Just fire
You
one of these
create
ballista things at like
Object, a creature, or some other visible phenomenon that is no larger than a 20-foot cube. I'd say that could be the size of one of these gunboats.
Yeah.
It's smaller than this ship. The ship is larger than a 20-foot cube.
Okay. Yeah, we could
Uh,
make
The image appears at a spot that you can see within range, which is within 120 feet of you.
Yeah.
That's pretty close. If something spotted something within 120 feet of you, it would also spot you. At least, being in a naval situation.
Logan, why are you such an asshole? Why can't you just let us have fun?
Oh my god! Just let me land the fucking boat. Just charge straight in. Ignore them. They don't have any weapons.
That's what you want us
Fly
to
straight
do.
past
that's
them.
what
Yeah,
I
you
want
That's
us
what
to
we
do.
think. Can we just like shoot these ballistas at one of the bell on
Hold
a
on,
church or
hold on.
There's
Have
something?
we
shit tons
even-
of them. That's the problem.
Guys, so start. Have we even found anywhere that's a bit safer to land yet?
No, you have. This is still you guys having this discussion before coming in close to the city. Because as soon as you start coming in close to the city, I start rolling.
I say we fly back to where we came from. Pub for the night.
Yep, fair.
We're back to the Winchester, okay?
Let's
guys?
just get back to the Winchester.
There is zombies
Wait for this to all
everywhere.
blow over.
Can we do like they did in Shaun of the Dead and pretend to be them?
I mean, that is.
Ah,
one
yeah.
thing that-
We asked about that and basically no, because
Well, no, you
Logan's
can
ruining
definitely-
our fun.
You can definitely, but there are things that you need to think about with this. For example, if you're going to drift sideways, how will you propel yourself?
Turn the
Because
entire
ships are made to go forwards.
Does our ship look the same as them?
That's when Hierarchin comes in and he makes it look like
An
we're drifting
illusion
sideways.
could make
That's
it
what I
look
was going
like
to
one.
say. Can we put the major illusion over the ship that we're actually in?
I'd
yeah.
say it probably wouldn't stand up to like a really close inspection. From a distance, yes.
We'll do that then.
Well, they wouldn't want to get close to us if they didn't
Yeah,
think anything.
If you don't do
Like-
anything to arouse suspicion, definitely.
To arouse them.
Mm.
Shall we do that? Try not to arouse them?
No giant booby
I
call.
mean, no mention of any monkey balls or anything.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh,
Oh,
oh.
no.
It's the worst day of my life.
I'm coming.
Every
I
session
have
we
the
get
perfect
this.
thing- I have the perfect thing for just hearing this.
It wasn't my fault this time, Logan.
It's true. What have you posted?
Oh Jesus Christ!
What's going on?
Jesus fuck!
God
Uh,
fucking
ban! I vote for a
What
ban.
What is this?
Instant ban hammer. Ban hammer.
I don't even want to click it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's made me
I
feel
paused
very...
it immediately.
Yeah. I'll watch that later.
Lynch.
You don't wanna watch it at all, mate.
Lynch.
Yeah, everyone just
Lynch,
picks up
Lynch.
Dahlia and throws her over the edge of the ship.
I'd like to see you try, motherfuckers.
This is how we get spotted by all fighting on the ship's deck.
Someone starts throwing coal. Yeah, so if you guys, I mean, you can just try and fly in normally with major image to cover you, and maybe that'll be enough. No,
I
Easy.
think that's probably the best strat. Honestly,
Yeah?
okay.
yeah, I think it is.
So, like, are you approaching low and then sort of rising up, or are you just trying to fly like naturally and follow a sort of pattern that they would follow? What are you trying to do?
Bob up and down.
Okay, attract more attention to yourself. That's fine. So it's a question of: are you going to try and stay out of sight for, or are you going to try and not arouse suspicion as you?
Not arouse
We're not going to
suspicion.
arouse suspicion. Yeah.
Straight in.
Casually bob up and down.
So you're going to fly in a path which is sort of similar to like the paths that they would take.
Yes.
Can we fly sideways?
Okay,
Like
we've discussed.
starboard down.
It's
I could-
entirely up to you if you can figure out a way on how you would make the ship fly
Yeah.
sideways. Then
Just
yes.
make
It
the
doesn't have to. It's an
looks like-
illusion.
Yeah, make the illusion sideways.
Uh,
Wait, they would be a bit confused about that. No.
well, the thing is, like they're drifting sideways. That's the weird thing.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we could fit in even better.
Do we have initial D going on in the background?
Eurobeat starts playing.
Yeah.
The ship is 110 feet long. Your illusion can cover a 20-foot cube.
Oh,
So that's why I said from a distance you can make it look like one, but you can't, like, if you just covered the ship with it.
So a quarter of our ship's going sideways.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're trying to do something fancy, rotate the ship 90 degrees.
No, they won't question it.
Can we fly under? Is it a floating island? You said.
Mhm.
Yeah. Can we fly
Yep.
under it?
Yes.
And I want to use. I kind of want to use message if I can reach 120 feet to someone on the island and go. I would just cause panic. I just want to say, oh, there's like the queen is dead. Quick, run to the tower or something.
Aren't these all
They
like?
have a queen.
Aren't these like all undead things and shit?
Yes.
The
well,
undead
no.
queen is alive.
Quick, brains on the tower.
What exactly
I
does
don't know.
message say?
Point
Can you message an unintelligent creature?
Oh.
And how intelligent
Towards
are
a
these
creature.
undead?
It says a creature within range. Blah blah blah. You can spell through solid objects, which is good.
Yep.
If you're familiar with the target.
I think there's like a limit on how much.
Okay,
by, like,
so
10
not
or something. So probably not through the whole island,
It-
but
doesn't say.
I'm gonna fucking look at it.
I'm looking at it. I'm not seeing any limit to through objects.
So, because this is a cantrip, I refuse to believe you can just message someone.
Oh,
Point
yeah.
your finger towards a creature within range and target, and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper to what you hear. You can cast a spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier. You would have to spot something beforehand then. Only goes through 1 foot of stone. So you couldn't
Okay,
like
right.
hang out below the island.
Okay, sure.
You could still use that for a distraction, like when you're on the island, potentially.
Yeah, just
If
not quite for now.
it works on unintelligent creatures, or if there is an intelligent creature you could use it on.
I've got a fantastic distraction. Tasha's hideous laughter.
Okay, again, you have to be within range of a creature.
30 foot range. I was just gonna like scream it as loud as my character could, and I would.
But yeah, it like makes a person like double over in uncontrollable laughter, doesn't it? And incapacitate them,
Something like that.
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing then? Are you doing the illusion plan?
If
Don't
everyone
all
else,
commit at once.
if everyone else says yeah, we can do it.
I think it's our only option without us definitely not, us not getting definitely killed.
It's probably the
Okay.
best plan we've got, isn't it? Do you want me to cast the spell?
Do
then?
we need to? Yeah, I was gonna say, does he need to roll to kind of?
Yeah.
show
Do I need to do
how-
anything to say whether it
How
affects?
strong the how strong the spell is?
I mean, it's a 3rd level. It's your highest level spell. That's in and of itself. I think maybe. Fuck, I don't know what sort of. Your spellcast modifier is charisma. Make a charisma check, just convincing the illusion looks, I guess.
Okay.
Like how convincing you're able to make the illusion.
Where's that? Is it skills?
Yeah, there's an unskilled charisma check at the bottom.
This one. See if that's right.
Yep. Okay, 18. So when I roll, that will be what I'm trying to beat.
Okay.
And so that will probably put a modifier on it as well.
I feel like with the stream, we should what I wish we could have is like a camera view of like over Logan's desk, so we can actually see his rolls.
I'll
I
do,
bet
I'll
you they're
do
going to
these
be
rolls
like
visible
they're
to
going to
you.
be constant nat 20s, constant
'cause
nat 20s against.
I'll do
them.
it in the dice roller.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't see
Okay.
any of them.
See what it is.
Or you need to take photos of it to prove
Yeah.
it.
I can also do that. I'm going to do it in Roll20 dice roller.
Well, there's nothing stopping him just moving the dice and
Yeah,
then taking a photo.
Guys, I just realised something anyway. He's the DM. We won't see his rolls on here.
No, I can make them visible to you.
Yeah, but would you?
I will for this.
Just for this.
Just for this.
If this is
I don't
nat
know.
20, Logan, I'm going to run to your house and I'm just going to start fighting with you.
The thing is, to some degree, it's fun to keep you guys guessing of like, ooh, how perceptive are these things? Is it good? Is it just because he rolled well, or is it because of thingy? But I think in this case, it's just, I will tell you, they have a +5 to their perception. And
The fuck?
yep, these are scouting ships. They have a +5 to their perception. That's not really
I
that high.
literally thought you just meant the fucking ghouls.
No.
That's why I was like, what? Why is that so high?
It's not that high, but the question is how many rolls are they going to get to make, and I think that depends entirely on your approach. So, and like, if you're able to make yourself move in a more natural way, which I guess I will have you roll for as well, I think that'll give them like a negative modifier to their perception as well. How does that sound?
Okay.
Okay. So at the minute, as it is you're covered by an illusion. The DC is 18, and you're
Yeah.
just going straight towards the island. So I think for
Can we
every
float
round that
below at least?
you can do. So that's the thing. I think heading just straight towards the island, I will roll 3 times with disadvantage because, like, you're flying in a usual pattern for them. If you're flying low, I will only roll twice, but without any disadvantage. So it's up to you guys how you want to do this.
I think I'd rather have the disadvantage, honestly.
3 times with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay?
But obviously, it's not my decision.
No. You said
Yeah,
that.
I agree with that.
I'm
To
just
be honest,
going with what
I
everyone's
was-
saying.
I was thinking that's probably sounds like a bit better. I know it's one
Yeah,
extra
I
roll,
agree.
but
I just think without the disadvantage, it's far too risky.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will have to beat an 18 with this. First roll, with disadvantage, is a 12. Second roll with disadvantage
Ooh.
is a 12.
Oh, thank God.
The final roll with disadvantage is a 6.
Yes!
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 We did it.
So you guys are able to get to the island. Now you can land now in an area where I think you will be sort of just on the edge of the city walls. Like if you like more up in the shadow of the walls, like you could land now, or you could scout around to try and find a better location. If you land here, I will roll once with disadvantage. If you search somewhere else for every round you continue searching, I will roll again with disadvantage.
I say we land here.
Well, so we're just outside the walls. Not particularly visible then.
You're in the shadow of the walls, but like just outside of like what would have been a built-up area of the settlement.
Okay.
I say we land here. Not
Okay.
take our chances.
Yeah, we've managed to get here as
Yeah,
enough,
I
haven't we?
agree
So I say we
Okay.
get off.
So I'll roll again with disadvantage. That's a 14. No one spots you
Close.
mooring off as the crew like sets to work casting ropes to anchor the ship to the edge of the city. And at the moment, you guys have got like a thick stone wall separating you from anything else in the area. You guys, I guess you would probably you probably wouldn't use the lifeboat to disembark. They've set you up so that you can just safely disembark via like a plank or something, and it's like a quite thin, like maybe 10-foot wide sliver of land that you're on, and then the wall is next to you, which is like 15 feet high, so you can't see over it, and nothing can see you over it. The scouting ships are still flying above, but you're in the shadow of the wall at the moment. What would you like to do? At the minute, you can head towards the docks where you can see like a way in via the wall ending, or you can try and scout the other direction, see if you can way over. Or you guys can try and do something smart.
Or climb over.
Well,
Can
I
do.
was going to say I was going to climb up and peek over, but not.
Get Risu to fly up and see what's over there.
Oh.
Can do.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Have someone who's capable of flying.
Yeah.
Risu, it would be a stealth check from you.
Okay.
I think she's all fucking cool because she can fly.
Flying. Done.
Walk fucking once.
Okay. 13. Okay. So you are able to sort of peek over the wall from here, and you like still keep your head quite low. None of like the scouting ships are going to notice you just peeking over the wall or anything. But what you are able to see on the other side is you're in. It's like a residential area, like quite built up housing, but it seems like it was all like thrown together and shoddily constructed, and ever since the city has fallen, they've all fallen into disrepair. You can see several zombies patrolling the streets, but they seem to just be unintelligent, shuffling about.
Are they like ex
If
people?
you, I mean, you can make a stealth check if you want. Oh, sorry, not stealth, perception check to see any details about them. 11. It's kind of hard to tell. You don't see any like identifying symbols on them. They seem pretty rotten, like they've been zombies for a pretty long time. Some of them appear as though they were once humans. Some of them, like you see the like remains of a pointed ear. So potentially some of them were elves.
Does anyone have I should know this, but does anyone have any long range abilities?
Like arrows or anything?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Risu's like a very good archer.
Do you want
Yeah.
to start trying to pick them off?
That
If
might.
we've got like a route that we're going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I'm just thinking at the wall. They're not going to fucking see anything. They're not going to. And I doubt that the chance of them spotting you if you miss or something is going to be that large.
Is an arrow enough to kill him in one hit or not?
You're not sure.
Oh.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah,
I mean, these seem like just pleb zombies, not wearing any special.
probably best not to alert them. Or I have flaming arrows, so if I set fire to one of the old houses, that should draw their attention away.
Is there any other paths other than the ones to the dock that Risa can see? Like to get on the other side of this wall other than this climbing?
I mean, at the minute, Risu is just peeking over the where you are. She could go off and explore some more and scout further ahead to see if there's like a break in the wall somewhere where it's crumbled that you could try and sneak.
Yeah, that might be good.
Hell
Sure.
yeah.
It
Cool.
will mean another stealth check from Risu. Okay, 21. That's a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to beat this. Nope. Nope. That was a natural 4. Nope. So, you sort of scout along sort of like the next 100 or so feet of the wall before you come to a section where it has crumbled enough that like everyone could squeeze through it one at a time. Peeking over the wall, again, you see that this is you don't make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay, 13. Okay. You see fewer zombies here. It's not that the area is like empty, but this is possibly a better place to infiltrate, and it would save you having to go to the docks, which will be heavily fortified, or try and climb over the wall, which may be loud.
I'll just
So
report back to the other guys, or should I go through the passageway and that
it's up
way?
to you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll check if the passageway is clear.
Okay. I mean, you've got a 21 in stealth, so we'll just go with that. Nope. You search for the area. You're still in this. You've only gone 100 this house. There, it does seem like potentially there is an entrance to a house where you could like duck inside to immediately get cover after you break like the shade of the walls. and then potentially you could find a route like through the houses in order to like keep in cover and help you hide if you were to come here.
Okay. And
The thing is, you can't see inside the house. You don't know if there's anything in them. I mean,
think
we're
I'll wait
13,
till I got-
obviously.
yeah, I think I'll just get everybody else through.
Okay. So, Risu flies back to the group then.
Go, guys.
What are you
Yo
guys
guys,
thinking?
welcome to another video here. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. Don't forget to ring that bell.
Why?
I don't
Yeah,
know
we
what's
already
more
established
cringe,
we
what
don't ring
I
the bell.
post- I was just
It's
gonna say, I don't know what's more cringe, what I posted in Discord. Or...
Yeah, I don't know why everyone
That was
started
very
quoting me.
I could be a scum tuber if I wanted. Just you watch.
Oh god, make every
Filming my
video-
girlfriend died prank.
I
Oh
was
my
gonna say making the video exactly 10 minutes long.
I mean,
No, you only have 8 minutes of actual time, and then you put 2 minutes of just black screen.
here's the thing. Nick's been to Japan a few times. He could have filmed a vlog in the.
Oh, Rob, can you do that for your channel? Rob,
Nick.
Right,
Nick,
that
Nick,
cut
please,
out. I didn't know what he was saying.
please. Can you take monkey balls to the to the suicide forest in Japan
Oh my god.
for your next video?
No.
This got edgy quick.
It did actually. Jesus Christ, sorry.
Wow.
Okay.
Rob's been demonetized on Twitch.
I mean, I can't promise anything.
Was he ever
but, you know,
monetized?
we'll see.
I've been doubly demonetized.
It might get me some
They're
views.
taking your money now.
Yeah, they are actually.
So all the 0 viewers you have, you pay £5 for each viewer. Quick, everyone, go see Rob's stream.
Oh no, please! I don't want views.
And what? Complain to Twitch that he was talking about the suicide forest.
Yeah.
But it
Should
wasn't
we actually
me.
go into the city then?
Oh yeah. What are we doing?
No, that's up to you guys. Risu has found this alternative entrance you could potentially use. She hasn't seen anything apart from just like a few patrolling zombies, but that seems to be just everywhere. Like your options are find some way of climbing over the wall here, go through the wall there, or head towards the docks.
I think through this.
Go through the wall?
place- Yeah, where
Okay.
Lucy found. If it
Follow
seems
me
quieter
into the
than
valley
what
of
would be,
death.
if it seems quieter than what it would be at the docks, which I would say is probably.
Meow.
Through
Um,
the
Oh, yeah.
wall. Through the wall. Through
Okay.
the wall.
In that case,
Just
I'm
bring
going
on
to
the
need.
wall.
Well, Richard can still just
Hey.
fly
That's
over
a
it.
throwback right there.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Great TV show.
I saw a video which was the original Japanese that like inspired that TV show, and it's just fucking ridiculous the sort of wall they threw at the contestants. Like it was impossible.
Oh yeah,
But,
some of them were weird, and you're like, how are you meant
it's
to make
great.
that? How are you meant to make that?
But anyway, I am going to need a marching order first then,
What?
as in like what order you guys are going in. Who's ahead of who?
Me, I will lead.
Okay, Risu is in the
I
lead.
know it.
You could just fly
Um,
over it.
Yeah, sure. I'll beat the next one then. Whatever.
Okay,
Can I
Bill,
stealth my
yours
way
after
through?
Risu.
I think.
I
that's the
assume
plan
you're all
anyway.
going to be sneaking here.
Yeah, can I actually
like I
stealth
was-
because I've got more
Sneaky
stealth?
donkey.
You can separate yourself from the group if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to be like 10 meters behind, 20 meters behind. Yeah.
Okay. 20 feet behind,
It's in
that's fine.
feet. Get it right. We're
Yeah, it's
playing.
feet.
Oh, sorry.
God
I'm doing
knows
yard-
how.
Oh, I'm
God
doing
knows how
yards.
many.
What's that in yards?
Essentially the same, I think.
Oh, are they? Yeah,
Maybe
it's
it's like
close to
2 yards
meter. I
still.
think it's like 0.95
No, a yard is way
meters.
less.
What?
Yeah, yard is way less.
now.
Than,
Look, here's
Shot
my
you
understanding of.
yardies.
It was something that as a kid I used you used to shout at people when you were about to do a throw in football,
No, no,
and
right,
then
no,
they would just like take 5
what?
steps back.
no, get this. A yard glass, how long is that? It's just under a meter.
Is it?
I have them
What
all the time.
fuck is a yard glass?
How many yards are in a meter?
Is this like one of the ones which you like?
Why are we using
Matt.
yards?
Meter is 1.09 yards.
There you go, 1.09
There you
go.
yards.
So a yard is almost a meter.
Exactly.
Here's
Almost
the
the
thing:
same.
we're working in feet. This conversation is pointless.
How many feet are in a meter?
Fuck's
The
sake.
answer is 3.28 feet.
Okay.
There you go.
How many feet away would you like to be, Bob?
3.28.
That's the power of 10. No, not to the power of 10. To the power of 3.
You want
That'll
to
be
be
enough.
328
What?
meters away.
I do... Hello?
The equivalent
What?
of 10 meters in
What
feet.
are you doing?
You're going to be 10 meters away in feet.
Yes.
So you're going to be 30 feet away.
Yes.
We're just going to do it as 3
Thank you.
feet to a meter. You're going to be 30 feet away. Okay.
Point 2.
Fine. Shut up. That's fine. So you're 30 feet behind the group.
Yep.
Risu is leading the group. Yaya's behind. Hayakin and Jeremiah, what are you up to? Who's bringing up the rear? Oh, and Virtue and Brother Gabriel.
I'll go last because I'm a scaredy cat.
Okay, Virtue will go with Hayakin.
I'll protect Hiarkin.
Thank you.
So, I guess Brother Gabriel will be third, then Jeremiah, then Virtue, then Hayakin at the back, and then Ott 20 feet behind. I would like all of you to make stealth checks. I need to look at what Virtue's and Gabriel's stats are for stealth.
I don't get disadvantaged anymore, do I?
No, you do not, because of your shiny new boots. Your
Temporary.
sweet kicks, as some may call
God, and you still roll bad.
Well,
Why did we bring
bad
the odd
news for
man?
you guys. Brother Gabriel only gets a +1 to stealth.
Matt doesn't even get a plus. He gets.
Oh, hey, he got a natural 19. 20. Okay, what does Virtue get?
I've got us fucking killed.
You-
Skill.
Clunk, clunk,
Yeah.
clunk. That's all we
Gets
hear.
3. Still 13.
Oh, God.
Jeremiah got a 7. Okay. So you guys are all sort of bunched up, and I guess you can sort of cover a little bit, but
Hey Rob, you haven't made your roll yet.
yeah. I mean, I know Rob's
too, sorry.
separate, so his Rob won't be involved with this, but also make a fucking stealth check.
Yes, sir. 15.
language,
15.
DM?
You're not my mom. You can't tell me what.
Which is surprisingly
Okay.
low for me.
Let's start making some rolls, boys.
It's 9.
Well, it's the same again. It's much lower. Okay. Each of you are begin making your way through one by one. Unfortunately, so Risu gets through easily because she can fly over anyway. Yolya gets through because she's got very good dexterity. Brother Gabriel is able to squeeze through, and then when Jeremiah comes to do it, like the back of his armor gets caught on like jutting out piece of stone wall, and part of the wall crumbles. And I think Ott, because you're behind, you have like the best visual of this. There just seems to be like a hand stood like at the top of the wall, and I mean it doesn't look anywhere because it's a hand and it doesn't have eyes, but then like a piece of stone like almost falls out from under it and it scrabbles away. And
Is it a hand like the one from Adam's Family?
That's
yes,
what I was thinking, yeah.
I thought
yes, exactly like that, except like
Is it
rotten.
Thing or
Not
it?
a
I can't
white
remember.
Isn't it?
Thing.
Yeah, I think
Thing. I think it's Thing, yeah.
and then you have
One of
cousin
them,
it.
the hairy one is it, and the hand
Yeah,
is
it's Thing.
I think, or it's the other way around.
My
I don't remember.
favourite Adam's Family character.
So,
Isn't it?
Thing.
yeah. So, there's no immediate thing that happens because of that, but the rest of you are all able to get through without incident, and you're able to, I guess, duck into the nearby building. the thing is, it's like so crumbled and it's been so long, you can't even really tell what the purpose of this building used to be, whether it was a house or a shop or anything. It just seems to now be a bare, crumpled room.
Is that bare as in very, the slang term bare?
Yeah. It's a crumpled room in its blood.
Thank you.
So, I will have all of you make stealth checks again, because now you begin to see the streets begin to fill up as the Horde has been alerted to your presence somewhere in the area.
Our Father who art in heaven.
That's a
hallowed be
natural
thy
one,
name.
isn't it?
Oh dear.
His natural one is
His natural one is. Here's the thing: a natural one's a crit fail.
Did you just pull down the wall we crept through?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Thud.
And accidentally set off the explosives we were talking about.
I can't believe it. My critical fail is still too higher than Nick's. What the fuck?
Yeah,
And significantly higher than Matt's.
I can't believe it.
So much for those fucking boots, huh?
How could this happen to me?
Okay.
Can
I
I?
think
Ooh!
I've
Wait a
got.
minute. Have we been spotted yet? Because or I just
I
We're
think
all just
that,
We
like,
haven't been
around.
spotted yet. We're all fucking like
Don't we
chucking each
all-
other to walls at the moment.
do any of us have
Just yelling.
inspiration? Do any of us have inspiration?
I do. Can I re-roll?
That's what.
yes.
I don't think there's any point with
Okay.
mine.
Do you have inspiration? You can re-roll.
If you have inspiration, now would be the time
Yeah.
to utilize you.
No.
Them.
Fuck. 1 point
Wait.
better. That's it. That's all I'm getting.
Where
Oh,
do you
that
see
was
that?
a
Okay.
waste.
Matt, do you have inspiration?
Where would I check this?
It's on your core
stats.
stats.
Please say yes, because there'll be
There's
no point. in
inspiration, no
Inspiration.
is red, or green is yes.
In the middle,
see
middle.
this.
Nick,
In the middle at the bottom.
Nick, I'd check
Under
if I were
other.
you as well. Just 'cause that's-
Yes, I've got a big no.
Oh,
No, big fat no.
Oh, I
you-
can tick
well.
it and it turns into yes.
Yeah,
Well,
that's like the case. Well, by the
here's the
way-
thing. At the minute, you know how you have a 9, Alex?
But
That's
for the
still a
crit one,
natural 1. That counts as
Yeah.
lower than what anyone else has got. So if you got inspiration, I would still use it. Because otherwise you're guaranteed to be found. I'm going to start making some rolls, and the DC right now is free.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So, fucking,
Like,
let me do it again. Come on.
25.
I think
wow.
I'm fine now.
Here's the thing. Jeremiah is still going to get seen if I roll a 2 that time.
Please
I rolled
roll
8 that time. You've been seen. Okay.
Are we dispersing away from each other just in case, or?
At the minute, as far as I'm aware, you're all in the same room.
Right.
Well,
Here's the thing.
here I go killing again.
Yeah. You- I will at least explain the composition of this horde to you, because it's not like a horde of infinite zombies has come. There are a few zombies, a few like skeletal creatures which seem to be wearing armor and carrying swords, which seem to be more intelligent than the others, and they seem to be like commanding them and telling them where to search. And you can see just crawling around the area are lots of these hands.
Is this gonna be like in Game of Thrones? Spoilers. If
Again, haven't seen it, so
okay, do I do spoilers?
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
No one
anyone's going to
likes
be
Game of
watching it
Thrones
after this
anymore.
final series anyway.
Okay, yeah, like
Oh,
if,
you mean the one
if
that's
you
already
kill,
finished?
yeah, the thing that's already finished. Oh, I'm just saying, just for the sake of, where they kill, if they kill the Ice King or whatever his name is, or is that the one from Adventure Time?
Yeah, if you kill a necromancer, then all of his things die as well. Works.
Yeah.
potentially.
Oh.
Potentially.
He's
some of
saying
this-
that, and it fucking does.
Do I know what? Do we know what this guy is? Is he a
You have
necromancer?
no idea.
Cool. Wait, so we can see him though.
No, you just see like a bunch of zombies and no
Oh,
idea
right.
what's stuff.
Okay.
Oh,
And
do you?
it-
Do you
Well,
want us to roll inspiration?
you don't have inspiration.
Not inspiration. Do you want initiative?
I think right now we don't really have time to be doing like a whole big combat thing. So I think we potentially call this session here, and we'll
Oh.
pick up next session with the combat, and I'll have a new map for you.
That was a
To
short
be-
session.
Awesome.
Nice.
To be continued. Matt, why have you got to roll so badly?
Matt,
Now I get to
come
leave you on
man.
a cliffhanger.
Hey, I get moments like these, but then I get moments where I'm dangling off a ship,
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
fucking somersaults and shit. Okay, you just gotta wait for the next time.
It's
hope to
amazing
God-
that you've never
one sec.
fallen to your death.
I
It
hope-
Hey,
really
very
is.
nearly did off the side of that boat.
Yeah.
Matt,
a few
to,
times.
A
to,
few
to
times.
begin with, yeah, I seriously hope you haven't used your you had inspiration at one point and used it on stupid. 'Cause if you have, I will find you and strangle you.
I feel like I need to be like Logan and invest in a pair of dice only I can see.
Yeah. Whoa, I've been called out.
I agree with
fudged
that roll
Nothing.
right there.
Yeah, damn it.
There, damn it. Oh, and
Who's the
Nick,
one
you
roll
rolled a
its
goddamn 7.
Nick, roll its cheese.
Yeah, fuck you, Nick.
Shut up, you rolled a 3.
Yeah.
Hold on, yeah, I've got my most powerful spell. 1 second. There we go.
Turn everyone into cheese. It's a
Oh,
nat
yeah.
20.
In all fairness, I
Perfect.
rolled a
Everyone's
6.
cheese.
I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Oh, well, I
Yeah.
just rolled mine.
Okay. Yeah, we'll call the session there.
Okay.
And this way I can give you like a proper battle map for this.
Wait, so
Awesome.
what's the deed
The deed? What?
in the title?
Oh, the Meritus deed would be coming here.
The cheese.
A Meritus deed is what you agreed to do.
Okay.
Those were the exact words he
Wait,
used.
so where is the guy on here that is apparently helping us, but not really helping us? He's just going to take all the credit.
Father Gabriel. That is this red dude here.
Oh, cool.
But like, this isn't the map you'll be using because you've disembarked the ship. This was like what I was going to use in case you got spotted. But
Oh, as
you
a-
didn't.
As a battle.
You were
battle
smart. You used a pretty cool illusion.
Hey.
Oh. I should have had you roll Wild Magic Surge on that. It's fine. Just mark up the
Uh-huh.
spell slot.
Oh yeah. Next time.
Next time. Anyway, good game, everyone.
GG.
game.
Very quick game. Sorry.
Good game.
You guys
Yeah.
were, acted a lot smarter than I thought you would last
Thank you.
to get in.
But
Yeah. Wait, that's not a compliment.
Yeah.
Listen, it would have gone
I was
fine.
impressed with your
had-
planning.
I was going to say, it would have gone fine had a certain people not rolled so poorly.
Here's the thing. Sarah didn't roll very good on perception, so she didn't spot like the hands and stuff that were patrolling about. She only saw the zombies.
Yeah, once again, fuck you.
And then Matt
Damn
rolled
bird.
bad on stealth.
Damn
And then
stick
Alright,
bird.
brought
All
all
of you
that.
rolled bad on stealth after that. So like,
Hey, I could re-affect mine because I have inspiration because I'm
uh-huh,
a good D&D player.
uh-huh. So
And-
all you did was you made it not your. The outcome was still the same.
Hey,
I-
I don't care. At least I can blame other people and not myself.
Yeah.
Exactly how I roll. If I can blame someone else for the problem that I caused, I'm going to do it. And thank God it's Matt I can blame because
And
I
on that
blame him
note,
forever.
Yeah, how long was the stream?
And on that
it was
bombshell,
a little over 2 hours. Well, 2.25
Okay,
now.
so
Yeah,
about
good.
the same as usual. We're
Uh,
fine.
Feature length.
we occasionally go up to 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's my expectation anyway.
Okay,
Cool.
that's fine. I cut it short because I thought it would be better to leave anger, give you a better experience next session. But it's fine.
Plus, it is a
I
little
enjoyed
later
that.
than it would be a little later than normal as well.
Yeah,
So it's-
I enjoyed that session a lot.
Yeah.
fun, very fun.
You
Yeah,
got to
I
have a little
enjoyed
bit
it.
of role play in the beginning, and
I have a little bit
Next,
of
you
role
get
play
to open.
outside of D&D. What?
I'm going to watch the
Wink.
VOD just to see how long it took us to think of an idea.
Oh, that
to
was
get
a
in that
lot.
city.
That was about half an hour at least.
I thought that, yeah. Jesus
that's-
Christ.
that's fine because like it's one of those things which I enjoy because challenge for you guys as the players, and you'll think of something as opposed to just your ability to roll it, which is why like I like setting puzzles or.
I liked how a lot of it was you going, no, they'll spot you. No.
Well, no, I
that
was
won't
saying
work.
like that could work, but you'd need to account for this. How would you
Yeah,
roll
I like
this
that.
differently? Like, I always try and not say straight up no to things, unless it's Rob being an idiot.
What? Who?
No,
Oh,
you don't say
indeed.
no because I nearly got chucked off the boat in the very first session. So
all right.
You know what I didn't get a chance to do on that entire boat journey? Just randomly
Uh,
spin the wheel of the boat.
Thank fucking Christ.
Oh, it's a real shame. Next time. Next time.
I would have had them spot you,
Oh, okay.
which would have been a fun combat encounter, but it's fine.
Did you have like any of that prepared? Out of curiosity, like a
I
combat
would. I
encounter?
had a encounter prepared if you got spotted on the ship,
Okay.
but that's fine. It didn't happen.
But could we have had like
So-
several boats come after us?
Yes.
was there anything that happened which you thought wasn't going to have happened when you
To
played
be
that?
honest, I thought you guys would have gone after the wyverns rather than the
What? You dropped out.
Gone after the what?
the wyverns rather than the Brother Gabriel's quest. Just judging by like how you were leaning last session.
I can't even remember how we.
What can I say?
I re-listened to like half of the last session, like just before this. It was funny. I'm glad it's not even important anymore. It was last session. This is this session.
Yeah.
Next will be next
None-
session.
Yeah.
That is
Next
not
session
sessions.
is what's important.
What's
That's
going
the one
on?
where we're going to get a TK. Well, don't worry, guys. I'm only half planning on TPKing you.
What is TPK?
Total body kill.
Oh, only half.
Yeah,
Have you
know,
ever watched? Have you
gonna
ever watched a
happen-
game where people just get just everyone dies in the end?
Yes.
God, that's
Uh,
depressing.
Only like mini series though, like an actual campaign.
Could you imagine how depressing that is? You get all the way, especially with us, after how long this has been going on for.
Well,
just
here's the thing.
Fucking die.
It just means that like if I do another campaign in Horizon, things are different. Like, you know, the bad guys won because you didn't stop them, and now maybe this is like the next party has to finish the job
Speaking of
or has
parties,
to fix things that you screwed up.
Speaking of parties, when are we gonna play Party 1? Campaign 1.
I don't know.
Ooh,
I
heck,
mean, I've got
that is a
stuff written
throwback.
out.
Yeah.
I've got stuff written out, but the thing is, like, it's been so long ago.
So
I don't
long,
think anyone
yeah.
I
really
know, but
remembers
we were
anything.
like 1 or 2 sessions away from the end.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, I mean, I
I'm open to
don't think I have
finishing it,
anything next
but-
Sunday, and I mean, it really depends if you, Logan, you want to do it anyway.
Mhm.
You and anyone could do it, but I can do it next Sunday if you wanted to have an epilogue type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And me and Nick will be in Japan in March, so you guys can play it then.
That's a good point, actually.
While
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
are on holiday. Okay, well, we could do that then.
when Nick's gonna get YouTube famous in the Suicide
Yeah,
Forest.
in the Suicide
I'm gonna
Forest.
get the
We have to
coronavirus.
see
And
monkey balls.
Oh God, yeah. You guys,
Yeah,
what do you
that's
guys
where
think
the
about all that
that's
shit?
why
You worried?
we
was
are
on
a bit
purpose.
worried because a lot of the things that we were planning to go to were actually shot in the first week they're there
Wow.
because they're trying to combat it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You make your own
So-
fun.
We've
Yeah,
got
I
a week to
guess.
decide if we're going to push the dates back.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
do
think
you?
probably
Oh,
a
that's
lot of
good.
Yeah, we
Have.
found the airplane tickets and they said we can reschedule it too.
At a
So-
cost.
Well, yeah.
It would be
Yeah.
worth it though.
At least we
It'd
won't
be
be
worth
losing
it.
all that money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
but
better
then
than fucking getting coronavirus, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. We've got a week to see what happens.
Anyway,
Fingers crossed.
I mean, I've got the coronavirus, so I'm doing pretty well.
Oh, that's
Uh,
just not bad. Nothing to
Okay,
worry
then.
about.
Right.
the primary like manufacturing facility for my sister's workplace is like in a quarantine zone. So she's got coronavirus.
Oh,
Who's
no.
this? Sorry.
Carrie's workplace, like the primary manufacturing place for it in Italy, is in a quarantine
Oh
zone.
fuck.
So she's being like a mega hypochondriac at the minute.
I mean, with well, did you see the world economy shrunk the largest percent since the
Wow.
2008
I
financial
saw
crash
memes about that.
Because
because of it?
The stonks are going down.
not
No,
the
not stunk.
the whole
Don't
purpose
be
is
ever go
because, anything like this makes the fucking market like quake in its boots.
Yeah, you
Like,
get like
"Oh!"
short-term
They
down.
just as long as the plans to like basically shut down things
Yeah.
succeeds and drops it, then everything will stabilize again. If
Yeah.
it doesn't, then we could see a market crash.
It's like when the initial Brexit vote happened, like the value of the pound by a third.
Yeah.
Then just
Yeah.
like picked up again straight away.
It's just how the market reacts to these kind of things. Like, oh,
Knee-jerk
things aren't
reactions.
going well, and like bad.
If the market wills it, the market wills it.
Shall I? I'm gonna end the stream here so I can. Make
Yeah,
food.
now's.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna say
I
we're
thought you
talking,
ended it ages ago, dude.
What? Ages ago. Oh, okay.
Like probably when we started talking about coronavirus.
I'd like to say my farewells to the audience of 0.
Okay.
All right, this is it.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Too Tiffin.